In the last video, I covered a few of the things within the industry and tertiary in terms of the different platforms, the pros and cons. What's your experience in a secondary level? What type of engagement tools have been useful, and what are the tips and tricks that people need to look out for?
Absolutely, Rashan. So I think one of the things that we need to be really aware of in regards and the difference between tertiary and the school setting is our underlying compulsory reporting and child protection obligations. So what comes with that is a lot more restriction on what we can do and when and how we can engage. So things like using Google Classroom or Microsoft Office 365 enables us to have a controlled environment where we can operate that's, whilst it is text-based and less media-based, enables us to meet those obligations. One of the big challenges we have in regards to the video opportunities that you have through Zoom and we've got through Skype in a school setting is the fact that the minute we go outside of the school environment, it's deemed to be what we call an uncontrolled environment. Mm-hmm. Now that's a very, very challenging environment to be in. Some of the things that you brought up about desktops and things like that, and exposure to video footage of things that you don't necessarily want to see. In a school environment, that falls under compulsory reporting and has some very serious consequences for both the student user and the staff user. So it's something we always need to be really, really mindful of, to the point where at a systemic level, I know in our environment, we're looking at having no live footage. So
that makes it very difficult to engage.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So looking at still providing that opportunity to see your teacher, but in a pre-recorded format. So like your recorded lectures at the university level. Mm-hmm. How do you make them engaging? So we've got a series of tools that we use here at Kawana that enable us to then try and mimic that live engagement. So things like recording an instructional event and then embedding that into a platform like ClickView. And I know there's a range of out there, which is a video library platform. But what it does, it enables us to turn that recording into an interactive environment. So where they have periodic pauses through the video when they're asked to do something, it might be write me a letter in response to this to the minister, or it might be answer these multiple choice questions, or it might be answer this online quiz, so that we can get an engagement with the kids that we'd normally get through an audio.
Yep.
Things like being able to take the shorter videos and using textbook platforms in order to embed those videos live straight into our e-texts so that they can engage directly with that video to support their learning from their text. So if you've got a very kinesthetic learner that isn't going to be able to read the textbook and get that understanding, they've got access to the text and the activities from the text, but then they've got the video right there embedded inside the textbook to support that kinesthetic learner.
Yeah. So
there's opportunities to engage the students to achieve some of the things that you can achieve very quickly through that interactive environment. But it's a matter of looking at it from that macro level and saying, well, how am I going to put all these pieces together so that I can have a puzzle that'll form a pathway that they can follow, a journey that they can follow towards that end goal, when the end goal is an exam or an assignment or a project. It's a matter of, looking at all the different parts of your platform that you can sew together to be able to give them a structured learning environment that's going to take them through without your physical presence, to be able to go, we need to go here, now we're doing this, now we're doing that. And that's a challenge, but it's something that's definitely possible. It's just a matter of really stepping back and saying, here's my learners that I have in front of me. What do I need to do to engage these, and what tools do I have, and how am I going to be able to facilitate those together in order to be able to engage all the different learners and provide opportunities for them to engage with the learning, provide feedback on their own learning, and then to gain feedback from the teacher. And I think they're the three most important things, is the engagement, but then the feedback, both from student to teacher and teacher to student.
Yeah.
And then the side feedback, which might be from teacher to parent.
Mm.